local tavern, and something really cool happened. There were a couple different people who were like, "Oh, you're the girl with the Blue Lotus pre-rolls. Everyone has been talking about them. We've been smoking them at our parties that we have, and all of our friends are loving them and asking about them." Sorry, there was literally a gopher. And then like after that, the bartender was like, "Wait, so what are you selling? Tell me about this Blue Lotus pre-rolls." And I told him, and so it's cool. It's really, really cool to hear that like it's getting around town just by word of mouth that people love the sensation that they get when they smoke them, and they love the branding, and yeah, just like lots of positive feedback and organic word of mouth. And then, you know, they send their friends over to the apothecary to buy them, and that's happened the last couple times I've worked there. Is like people walk in and say, "Hey, my friend told me about this," or "I tried my friend's pre-roll when I was over at their house and I had to come in and get my own." So that was fun, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're at Walmart. What else is new? I am walking over to the acupuncture clinic, which is on the property, to see if Shannon has a few minutes to do a little bit of cupping on me. My right shoulder, which is like my mouse arm, is super inflamed. It gets like that whenever I spend too many hours at my computer. And so I'm gonna see if she can do some cupping on me. Hello! I feel like I need to start calling these segments apothecary talks or something like that. I was catching up on some stuff this morning, and then I had to go run some errands. And I don't know if this happens to anybody else, because I feel like this is not very characteristic of me, but I get very anxious to leave the house. And I'm kind of even like ashamed to admit it, because it sounds so like weak and weird. And I'm just not, like, I'm not an introvert, I'm not an indoor kid, I don't know, but occasionally I'll feel really anxious about leaving the house, and I just don't really want to go anywhere, and I have, you know, an event to go to or errands to run or whatever, and I just will stall around the house and come up with things to do so that I can delay having to leave. And when it gets to the point where I can't stall anymore and I've really got to go and I can't delay it, then I start running through a list in my head of things that will make me feel better about venturing out. So this morning it was like, okay, I love my car, I get to drive my car, or like I get to be alone in my car and listen to my music. I could listen to Taylor Swift the entire ride and sing at the top of my lungs if I want to. Like, that's another positive. And I just start to list out all of the positives about going out. I wonder if this type of thing resonates with anybody else. I mean, I know it resonates with other people because we're a very anxious generation, and I know it's not unique, but it feels foreign to me every time it happens, because it feels so juxtaposed to my personality the rest of the time, that when it happens, and it usually only lasts like a day or two, but when it happens, I'm like, who is this? I don't recognize her. Why are you being so weird about, you know, running to the post office or running to the grocery store? And I don't know, it's a mind game that I have to play with myself and kind of coach myself through. And I think the exercise of listing the good things about venturing out, it's a way to self-soothe. So, little mental health moment for today. It also just got me thinking about social media because lately, oh, look at those cute little curious human hats right there. But lately I felt so over Instagram in particular and TikTok, both of them. I've just felt like kind of repulsed by them. Repulsed and discouraged. Seems like the cards are stacked against me and many others for that matter, especially like small business owners. But back in the heyday of people starting small businesses and using Instagram to build it, it was a no-brainer and you could experience amazing growth and you could organically find your audience, and moreover, your audience, your customer base could find you. And now it's not like that anymore. It's just not. You have to pay for every set of eyeballs that lands on your page. I just find it to be really like icky in so many ways, and it's so difficult because at the end of the day, you can't really walk away from it entirely in this day and age. It's just not possible. Anybody who looks up your brand wants to see your Instagram account. They want to see how many followers you have. They want to see that you've been posting regularly. They want to see what your content looks like and so on and so forth. So you can't just not have a presence. And that already feels like a trap to me, but it's like you can't opt out. I think it's become so layered with requirements and like what's required by their algorithm in order for you to be seen, to be successful on the platform. It's like you are literally bending over backwards to meet their list of requirements. I just really want to express my love of YouTube because I love telling stories. I love character development, and I feel like I can create character development on this platform, not just for myself and people who've never met me before, but also character development for like the other characters in my life, share little bits of their stories. And I do thoroughly believe this, that people will get burnt out on Instagram and TikTok. They're just gonna burn out. I am calling the trend that I think in the next year or two, YouTube is gonna start to become a lot more popular again, and people are gonna start moving over from other platforms that don't really provide any sort of depth anymore. That's my rant for the day, or real talk, apothecary talk, I should say. I have arrived at the hair studio. I haven't been here in probably 18, 19 years. And I mean, let me tell you, this place has been around for a very, very long time because it was here when I grew up here. And apparently they're still going strong. It's just, I can't even express enough what a trip it is being back here. There was some internal turmoil in general. There's like this notion of going home being like a bad thing or being embarrassing, or like, oh, you couldn't make it in the big city, so you had to go home. And I was talking to my best childhood friend about this, and she was like, big cities have really lost their luster. They've lost their way, and they're just not all they're chalked up to be. Second of all, we're from a very high achieving, highly educated community where business and medicine and law are really big professions here. And there is a good amount going on, but not so much to the point where it's gotten too big for its britches, which in my opinion, Austin kind of started to get that way towards the end. Anywho, I'm thrilled to be here. That's car talk. All right, I'm going in. Good morning, vlog. I'm back in the apothecary this morning, just open for a couple of hours. I've got some folks coming in to purchase some products, and they told me ahead of time that they were gonna come in to get some specific things, one of which being our Blue Lotus pre-rolls. So I'm here this morning doing a little bit of work, and then I have a couple of meetings. And this afternoon, I am trying to decide whether I should go into the city and go to a show, or whether I should do a pop-up here in town. Do I keep working? Do I take a little break? This week has been a bit of a marathon. I'm gonna make a game time decision on that. Look at this thing. This is quite some flower. I feel like I gotta put my hand next to it for scale. It's a big flower. Hi. You guys staying cool? Yeah. Hey. Hi. What are you doing? Hello. Hi. Hi. You're such a chubby one. You're a chubby one, aren't you? Yeah. These things are enormous. Oh God, Jesus Christ. These girls and boys are huge. They are like 150 plus pounds, I would say. I think that's what the vet said. Fun fact, there is a chapel on the property. It has a skeleton key to get in, which I don't have right now, but it has a really interesting history that I'll have to fact check with Shannon before attempting to share on here. It looks small from the outside. I think it seats about, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 people. Inside there's little pews, and as I said, I need to fact check before going into any detail about its history. But I do know that there was a period of time where one of the popes' little hats lived in here, was gifted. So I think I'll come back and do more of a tour of the chapel in the fall, because it's just really pretty with the surroundings and all of the leaves changing and stuff in the fall. But it overlooks the valley over here, and right behind this chapel is a gorge, so it drops off right there. And that's also something I'll show you guys in the fall, because you can hike up the gorge to the falls, and the falls are right up there next to the house. So that'll be a fall time activity. It's just a little too hot and buggy this time of year to do that hike and have it be enjoyable. So I realize I haven't done as much farm content on here recently, and I will be doing more. Been in a little bit of a lull, mostly because either the type of work being done isn't super exciting, like for doing a ton of weeding or something like that. But moreover, it's just that my schedule for Good Psyche has overlapped so much with the work that's going on by the woofers, which woof program is like a farm intern program. So Good Psyche stuff is overlapping with the projects that the woofers are doing at the same time. And so it's been really hard for me to get over to the stable and the hoop house and the gardens and everything with my camera and catch them while they're doing it and film them and get involved myself, because I've just been kind of stuck getting things done for GP. But that isn't always the case, and so the next video I plan to capture more farm content and also just more touring around the area and show you guys more of the area, because Dave and I are starting to venture out a little bit more. We have a fun road trip coming up in a couple of weeks that I'll be able to film and show you guys more of the Finger Lakes region, because it's so beautiful up here, and I'm watching a gorgeous rainstorm across the valley right now. So you guys, this is the view that I have from my desk upstairs. Look at the sky right now. Unreal. Anyways, I'll leave that there, but thank you so much for watching this week. I appreciate the time that you take to sit down and watch these videos. It is not lost on me that, with this longer format, it means that you're taking that time out of your day to sit down and watch it. So I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for next week. I'll shake it up with some more farm content and some other fun surprises. So thanks guys. See you next week.